Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. That actually depends on your location and from wherever you're watching me from right now. God bless you for joining me once again. As you know, that what we do on this platform is that we update with issues, things that actually are flying around the space of social media. That is our business, and that is what we do today. We do on this platform. Mohbad. Yes, and at the inquest today, a lot of things happened at the inquest. There were a lot of people that came in to give their testimony and to give their confession about what they know about how and what actually by Mohbad. Four people actually came to the court today to testify and to give their own testimony about what happened to Mohbad. One, the pathologist that was given the work to do second autopsy on Mohbad actually came with a result. Then Sam Larry was also interrogated today through virtual, and also the driver, Mr. Fidelis by name, that took Mohbad to Ikorodu show and brought him back home, was also on ground to give testimony of what happened. And the doctor, the Perez hospital, that actually attended to people that brought Mohbad for treatment that very morning, was also there to give his own testimony. Now, let me just give the brief before we go into the full video. The brief, what the pathologist said was that the cause of pile on Mohbad cannot be ascertained, and he gave reason why it was like that. We hear from the video. Then about Sam Larry also gave testimony about Mohbad. He said Mohbad was a good guy, that he doesn't threaten Mohbad or when he was on ad, but they had misunderstanding based on the fact that he gave him money to for his show. That is about 2 million naira, but Mohbad did not turn in, and that was the cause of their fight. And according to him, he never threatened Mohbad, and he also recommended that people in the house, people that were with Mohbad between 48 hours before Mohbad died, should be arrested and should be questioned. So that is what Sam Larry said today through virtual. Then the driver, Mr. Fideli, that took Mohbad to Ikorodu show, was also on ground, and his testimony today has turned this case case almost 360 degree, because he actually gave some information today. And according to the driver, he said there was no fight, that Prime Boy did not raise his hand against Mohbad, despite that the fact that Mohbad hit Prime Boy, but Prime Boy did not raise his hand against Mohbad. And according to the driver, he said there was an heat argument between Mohbad and Wunmi while they were going back home, and Wunmi was raising really insultive words on Mohbad, and to the extent that he was even threatening him that's going to end his career. You are going to hear the full details of this. And also, the driver said he was with Mohbad, he was in the compound of the house around 3 a.m. in the morning before he left, and he got the news that Mohbad died around 9 a.m. in the morning. The full details you are going to hear in the video. And also the doctor at the Perez hospital that actually attended to people that brought Mohbad in confirmed that actually Mohbad was brought in dead. And according to the doctor, he said Mohbad, according to what he saw that morning, Mohbad must have died 3 hours before they brought him to Perez hospital. These are the details you'll be hearing the full depth of it from Mommy Mercy Grace, because he was at the court today, and he was the one that gave us the full depth of this report. So guys, I want us to go there and hear the full details. And
I think it's a CGM or so that was recommended And the pathologist said he even took his own test above that was recommended. He said he took it, he had to go comprehensive, but he maintained. Actually happened was because the body was not adequately preserved. I guess that should answer. I know that everybody is going to be quiet now because the report says undetermined. The cause of death is undetermined. And what the pathologist said was that it was because the body was not adequately preserved. Undetermined, that was the language, not unascertained. If you had that language, it was by somebody else. What was said and quoted was that it was undetermined, the cause of death. So the next person, the next witness was Sam Larry. Sam Larry. His name is Samson Balogun Eletu. And he came by virtual anyway. His lawyer, a virtual setting had already been made right before the proceedings started, just like it happened in the time of Naira Marley. And he says he lives at 18 Oshodi Street, Lagos Island. And his occupation is a show promoter. So, according to the deposition that it was dated 21st August 2024, he said it should be taken as his own statement. So it was from there they began to cross-examine him. And he made a request that the lawyer requested that it should be interviewed, yes, by Yoruba, that he will speak Yoruba. So there was an interpreter, but every of his responses was in Yoruba. So Dr. Shitu said, our own pathologist, yeah, that was his report. Like I said, he has not been examined. He has not been cross-examined. He just gave his report and left. And he will be coming again on the 25th, the next adjourned date, for further cross-examination. I think that is going to basically be based on the comparison of the first toxicology as well as his own. Well, so until we get there, because I really don't want everybody to get panicky, because he mentioned one or two words. He said a lawyer. And so when we get to the point of cross-examination, we want to ask who was the lawyer. He mentioned and the lawyer. I remember, okay, he said and the lawyer said. So the question is good, you see, when from first autopsy, injury size, because he mentioned that there was an injury, but very small, and it cannot cause death. That was what he said. We have had it. Even the nurse said so. And so the pathologists also have come to say the same thing, that the injury is so very minimal, it just cannot cause death. So that was at the point that Dr. Shitu was saying, but a CGMS was required by the first pathologist. That why was he why did he not follow that? He now said the CGMS was no longer relevant for what he was called to do, the examination he was called to do, and that he has gone ahead even to exceed the requests in the first toxicology, which was the CGMS. But I know that when we get to the point of a cross-examination, we should be able to ask, who was the lawyer? How was he appointed? Do you understand? What were the contacts? We will get to ask all of that later. So in the meanwhile, I really don't want us to fret, until the cross-examination at the next coroner court. So, I'm already on Samson Balogun. And so Dr. Shitu said, you swore by the Holy Quran that everything you say will be the truth. He said, yes. I'm talking about Sam Larry now. And so Dr. Shitu said that there are 3 kinds of judgments. He said, number 1, judgment of the people. Number 2, the judgment by the court of law. And the last one, the judgment of God. Sam Larry said, yes, he's aware. Dr. Shitu said, if a man escapes the judgment of the people and he escapes the judgment of the law courts, that definitely he cannot escape the judgment of God. I think that is a sure statement. So, the question was, do you know Mohbad? He said, I know Mohbad. And what is the relationship between you? He said it is business because he's a show promoter. And so what is the grouse? He said Mohbad was owing him 2 million naira. So a referral was made that he confronted, Dr. Shitu said, you confronted Mohbad at a Legushi beach, yes or no? He said yes. And you came with cordial, you came to attack him, you came to threaten him. He said no. Okay, why were you there? He said he was the only one that got down from his car because he now saw it as an opportunity to come and meet Mohbad, who he has been calling ceaselessly, and he was no longer picking. You can only lie against the dead. Mohbad is not there to defend himself. And that's why I pray that the enemy will not prevail against us in the name of Jesus. So, he now said, Dr. Shitu said, what led to that? He said he invited him for a show because Dr. Shitu said, you invited him for the birthday of your mother. Sam Larry said no, it was not his mother's birthday, but his own birthday that was to hold at Dubai in 2023. And so he did not come. And Sam Larry himself said the reason why Mohbad could not come was the NDLEA affair. That was the reason why Mohbad could not come. And so he said even when they were done, that he did not harass him. According to him, Atulo Jamala, well, Okunon Puromo. Referral was made that there were, evidences that he assaulted, he threatened Mohbad, to which he said no, like Naira Marley, his counterpart. So, but it was proven because he went on to say, because he had paid for hotel accommodation, he had paid for flights, which had cost him over 20 million and all of that, and that he would not let go the 2 million naira. So that was why. And so Dr. Shitu said, did you make anything official about this? Did you report? Did you get a lawyer? Who was he said yes, he got a lawyer. Who was the lawyer? He gave no answer. Who did you report to? He said he told some people. And who were they? There was no answer. But then, Dr. Shitu maintained that it should be proven and taken that everything he did against Mohbad to retrieve the said money was a threat to him. And that is a proof that could lead to his death. He said no. Well, now, other legal counsel, they were making their own question to him. The same question, who was Mohbad? He said somebody that he knows. And so one of the lawyers asked and said, how many shows did you have together? Can you put a figure to it? And what year? He said 3. He said in January 7, 2021, the first one was at Dubai, another one was in Kenya, another one was at Akure, and that the last one was supposed to be the one he invited into in Dubai, which he did not come for. So a question was also asked Sam Larry, talk about Mohbad's character, and that was where tears came to my eyes. Ó ní ọmọ alálùbáríkà ni. He said he's a child of immense honor. Let me put it that way. A child of immense honor. Ọmọlúwàbí ni. He said it himself. And so, let me digress a little. For all of you that suddenly rose as a whirlwind against Joseph Aloba, ẹ lọ máa rò ó, nítorí á sọ̀kalẹ̀ sẹ́yìnkùlé yín, Olúwa tí ń bẹ àtẹ̀mí ẹ̀. For somebody who is an adversary to give an outstanding report of a personality like that was shaking. Ó ní ọmọ alálùbáríkà ni. That was Mohbad. And who taught him? Who trained him? His father, of course. So, he was asked, Sam Larry, when did you travel out of Nigeria? He said he traveled September 4. Remember, Mohbad died on the 11th. Now, at least we know that. He said he traveled on the 4th and that he arrived in Dubai, or where did he even say he went to? On the 5th. When did you come back? He said he was invited by the police. Of course, we know that. That was after Mohbad's demise. And so, questions were put to him that, are you aware there was a petition consequent upon the attack that he had on him at Elegushi Beach? He said yes. And that he went himself. He appeared at Alagmo 3 times. He said that he was even locked up, but they had to bail him. So Dr. Shitu asked him, what step did you take? Because if somebody is owing you and you are attacking him like that aggressively, then it meant that there was no relationship that was a cordial relationship between you. He said he only went there to go and counter the petition of Mohbad because Mohbad lied against him. Òkú náà ń purọ́ ọmọ lóòótọ́. One of the legal counsel that was asking made a reference to Shangaria Hotel and the events that occurred there. There were a lot of mix-up because initially Sam Larry was like, I don't know who Ayo Mide or Ayo Bami was, and eventually I know him, and he was the one that broke a bottle, and that we did not touch them. Well, what are we going to say? Because they have prepared their words. Yes, wọ́n ti kóra wọn jọ, and they are never going to say the truth at all. Whether if the position was written or not, they will not tell the truth. You know, he didn't tell the truth at all because when the legal counsel was like, there were video evidences where Mohbad was saying, oh, so and so responsible. Now this is Sam Larry attacking me. He said no. And now, question now came to the general public. I remember precisely somebody saying, but then you made a statement that went viral. Wọ́n ti gbé e sí inú ìwé lòkú tí ń sọ̀rọ̀. He said he made that video in 2013. Ìyàwó ló tiẹ̀ pé ná. He said, and now they now coined it into his voice that actually it was not, that he made it in 2013. That was shocking. That was, yes, 2013. That was what he said. That so, they just coined it to him. What are we going to say? Abi? That was what he called it. God bless you. He said he made it, so many lies. So many lies. So they were making further questions. Did you ever write a petition? He said he wrote a petition. And that was after Mohbad's petition. After Mohbad, he countered Mohbad's petition with a petition because he had the police under his armpit now. He had the police under his armpits. That was why he could counter the petition. Well, you now know what was funny. Somebody said, into which account did you pay the 2 million naira that Mohbad owe you? Because the question that was put to him is that Mohbad was under a record label. Did you see? It was Mohbad's, it was Naira Marley account. You know the foolish thing that the guy was answering? It is Mohbad that gave me the account number. I say, I don't know how I'm even able to control myself. Torí pé tó bá jẹ́ pé bí mo bá rí bí ènìyàn ṣe ni yẹ kí n lọ sẹ́ńgbò àbí kí n máa yá jẹ. So I asked a question. I said, if a person that is rearing chicken and your chicken is laying 20 eggs, 30 eggs, will you carry the chicken to the marketplace to go and sell? Because there was a cordial relationship between you and Mohbad between January 2021 and 2023. When did the song change? Ìgbà wo lorin dòwe? He couldn't answer. God knows all. Bí Sam Larry àti gbogbo àwọn tó ti ń wá, all of them that have been coming, if they escape the judgment of human and of the court, they won't escape the judgment of God, as well as everybody that I have done the wrong on this course of justice for Mohbad. So the money that he is running after Mohbad for actually was paid into Naira Marley's account, because at least we had it that Mohbad did not have account, and the driver attested to that. We will get there. So that is the conclusion about Sam Larry. Kí ló fẹ́ sọ? Kò sí, Mohbad ti kú. Mohbad ti kú. Now, what is your advice to the Corona Court, Sam Larry? And he said they should go and arrest the people that are around him 24 hours. Kí ni ìdílé tí máa sọ? Ebi tí Naira Marley ti sọ sílẹ̀ náà ló máa sọ. That's what they are saying. That he should go and arrest the people around him. As he was talking, he even mentioned that when he was booking the ticket, he made a reservation for himself and for his wife. His wife, Wunmi. Then, but it was another. It just passed. Nobody gave that attention because gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ, we know it is not relevant to the cause of what we are on. But what are we going to do? Cannot bring Mohbad back. He cannot bring Mohbad back. Maybe by the time we get to the High Court, there could be further scrutiny. Or scrutiny, no, at the examination. Okay. And then the driver. With the driver came a lot of relief. Came a lot of relief after the tension of undetermined cause of death, as well as the false witness of Sam Larry. The driver came, and the driver said his truth. As far as I am concerned, I am not saying that you should agree with me, but he said his truth. One is not a Yoruba person. His name is Fidelis Esambo Emeka. And he was able to establish that there was scuffle between Mohbad and his wife. He was able to establish that Prime Boy never lifted his hand against Mohbad. He said his own job is car hire, and that an agent called him that he should come to Orchard, and that was where he met Mohbad. He said when he got there, he had to wait for 3 hours because they had to wait for another SUV, and out came his wife as well as the baby, and they were in the car with other guys. Of course, definitely he will not know their names. So what transpired when they were going? He said nothing precisely. They were communicating, which he didn't hear because they were speaking in Yoruba. But when they now got to the venue after the show, let me just bring it in like that. That there were soldiers present that guarded Mohbad to the show and back. Although when they left the house, they stopped at Cubana chief priest. Yes, let me not forget that. Before they went to Ikorodu, they stopped at Cubana chief priest. He said himself and Wunmi went to buy food. That was mentioned already. We had that one, that they went to buy food. So it was when they came that they now proceeded to the Corona. So I mean to the show venue. So the soldiers and police, they came and guarded Mohbad for his performance. But by the time they came back, I think there was an issue of the boys requesting Mohbad money or something like that. It was the wife, it was Wunmi, that transferred money from our account also, because it was the driver said it was the wife that transferred money into his own account, and they went to collect money. So by the time they came back or something, it was giving 10,000 to the police, giving this, giving all of that. At a point, the advice was coming that it should be 5,000 instead of 10,000, and you know all those normal regular talks. So there was an aggravation, not caused by Prime Boy, like Wunmi and our cohort wanted people to believe. But Mohbad got angry. The presence of this force men, they were still there, the soldiers and all of that. So it was Mohbad that hit the glass, according to the driver, and the glass broke. He even hit Prime Boy, but Prime Boy did not retaliate, and Prime Boy had to be taken away from there. So they moved. He said while they were coming home, he heard when Wunmi was saying Oloshi, Olori Buruku, Ole. In 2020, when you have not blown, and the one that went to go and borrow 500,000 naira, be 200,000 naira at Moyetope from my mother, you know that at least the driver had that. You know, people who don't speak our vernacular, they can identify insults. He said Wunmi was persistently saying Oloshi, Olori Buruku, what else again? Ole or something like that. You know, that the argument was fierce. He was able to confirm that there was bleeding, at least on the carpet of the car. Strong bleeding. He didn't establish that because they were able to get home. And about what time did you people get home? He said 1 a.m. 1 a.m. midnight. So by the time they got home, the reason why Mohbad will get justice is that he was wrongly treated. No. The only person that did well to Mohbad was his father, Joseph Oluwa. Otherwise, ó wáyé ó jẹ ìyà lásán ni, ó wáyé asán. I won't lie. If there is any good time that Mohbad had in life, he had it with his father. The time the man was backing him, the time the man was moving all around with him, only that time. Otherwise, he never had it good. Because the driver said the serious words were strong. Even Wunmi held onto Mohbad, and the chain he was wearing caught. He said when they got to the house, Mohbad got down and was just walking quietly. Ẹkún mú mi. Àwọn ọmọ wa ò ní ṣìrìn o, wọn ò dẹ̀ ní ṣìfẹ́. If you have a very gentle child, there's nothing you can do about it. I won't lie. An introvert cannot exhibit the character of an extrovert. Is the lie. Papa Mohbad too doesn't talk. So definitely, his son took after him. Ìyà jẹ Mohbad. I won't lie. I'm a mother. Ọkàn mi gbọgbẹ́. The man said if he was the husband of Wunmi, òun á lù ú. He said Mohbad just got down and was walking inside the house. Ẹkún mú mi. I just managed myself that is this how a child will encounter evil in life? And you people are insulting the father. You will not make it. Ọmọ ò ní sinmi, I swear. Ní ìtẹ́ ìfojú bàbá ẹ̀ tún rí lẹ́yìn tó lose ọmọ. The only life Mohbad enjoyed was with the father. Any other, he suffered. You know that the driver said he went to meet Wunmi and said, Madam, when you enter, don't cause any trouble. You know what Wunmi answered? He said this one. He will enter now and go and be crying. Cry, boy, husband ni Mohbad. Cry. Ọmọ tí bàbá kọ́ tó gbẹ́kọ̀ọ́, ó wá ṣìrìn láyé, ó ṣì fẹ́, ó ṣì ayé wá. Ọmọ ológo, ó kàn sọnù. Just like that. Tó bá mọ̀, if he remain a eunuch, nothing will happen to him. The girl told the driver and said, this one, he will enter now and go and be crying. That is the soft nature that Mohbad had. If Sam Larry can even attest to the fact that he's a good boy, a glorious child died, Mohbad will get justice. There's nothing anybody can do about it. He will get justice. Let them go and try more. Let them go and try more. So he said they entered the people enter. He now stood, the driver said he stood outside and slept in his car. He said around 3 a.m. they came to knock his door, the car door. Because of his broken window, he doesn't want to go home. He wants it to be fixed. He said that if they now knock around 3 a.m., they wanted to go to a pharmacy to go and buy something. He said he told them, I don't have fuel in my car. I cannot go. So he went back. In the morning, he now came to the door. There was no movement, there was no nothing. But in the morning, it was only Wunmi that came out. And Wunmi now saw him and said, did you just arrive? He said he answered and said, no, I slept here. I am here. I did not go anywhere. I want to have my door fixed. And so Wunmi was the one that called, because what made Wunmi to come out was that he needed a POS malam to come and give money. Ọmọ náwó tí ò ṣiṣẹ́. If you escape the judgment of man, you escape the judgment of the court. All of you that did evil to this boy, you will not escape the judgment of God, as God lives and his spirit. So it was because they asked the driver, did you enter inside the house? He said no. It was only when the POS malam came to come and give money. Ìgbà tán bá ti fẹ́ gbowó, òun ni. Nobody saw Mohbad. He said, well, it was the wife that called the person that will fix the glass of his car. And so he left around 11 to 12 on that Monday. The next news he was going to hear was between 9 a.m. around 12 on Tuesday that Mohbad had died. That's that about the driver. He said, he said the way Wunmi actually dealt with Mohbad, he said, if na my wife, I go beat her. You know, is not a Yoruba. Esambo should be an Edo or a Benin person. Mohbad Shirin, just like very dark man said, he said Mohbad suffered. I am a mother. Mohbad suffered. Thank God for a father that cares. I salute you, Joseph Oluwabami Waloba. Thank you for the period of care. Mohbad will remember that. Mohbad suffered from his mother, suffered from mother-in-law, suffered from sister-in-law, suffered from wife, suffered from friend. The only true friend of Mohbad is God and his father. It is well. Àwọn ọmọ wa wọn ò ní ṣìrìn. So that is that about the driver. When you heard the news, how did you react? He said he was shocked for 3 days. He cannot eat. That was what he said. Same experience with all of us when we heard. He said his truth, and that was it. Then lastly, I am muted. You are not hearing me. Are you hearing me? You are not hearing me. Kí lẹ wá ń kọ náà sí? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí? Yes, we can hear you. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ dáyà ajá mi. You can hear me now. Mo ṣáà wò pé kí ló dé? God bless you. Ngbà tó dẹ̀ ní àyà muted. The last reposition, the doctor, a very, very knowledgeable young man, vast in his field. Wọ́n lè fi màgòmágó kan bá. I wish he was the pathologist. I wish he was the pathologist. Because one word that you ask him, he will explain. Oníká máa pè lọ́rọ̀ pọ̀. Yes, but he is intelligent. His name is Dr. Umuala Chigozie, and is the chief medical officer of Perez Medcare Hospital. He says he lives inside that facility. Umuala Chigozie. And so, I said, and in that hospital, he has been practicing for 12 years. He has been practicing as a doctor for 12 years, but he has only been there for 4 years. Around 4:30 p.m., he said there was an emergency. And at their reception, he said because their hospital is a 2-story building, his office is on the first floor, and the nurses section is at the reception. That while the patient was brought in, he came because they called him. He had to take his glove and stethoscope to run down to come and verify. It was Tuesday by 4:30 p.m. 4:30. I said it, that he said the Perez Hospital is a 2-story. Perez Hospital is the second hospital that he was taken to. It's the second hospital, not the first. Kuramed was the first, but the doctor did not come. She was not at the court, but the second hospital. So it was a 2-story building. Is it true that Wunmi tọ́ Mohbad? Definitely. Ó tún já chain ní ọrùn ẹ̀gàn pàápàá, according to the driver. Let me move on, Joe. So it was the doctor said it's a 2-story building and is on the first floor. So the nurses' point is downstairs. That by the time he even got there, the nurses were already checking vitals. No vitals, anything, no vitals. He said there was no pulse. Every monitoring that they needed to do to the eyes, even said that the face was already stiff. Because he said as he was doing the examination, he thought that he could do a CPR. Ẹ ṣáà rí nígbà tí Wunmi sọ wípé wọ́n ṣọwọ́ báyìí nítorí ó tún rántí ìyẹn lórí pé kóun fi kún. Do you understand? So he said he wanted to check for the pulse. Everything about it was flat. Everything. Because he asked them, when did this happen? They said not too long. He said, but by the time he was looking at the stages, the agomotis, the rigomotis, the palmogotis, he said the stage that Mohbad was on the palmogotis. Under the feet of Mohbad, it was as white as cloth, and there were dark spots in there. There were dark spots on that leg, on that sole of his feet. He said he established everything, and as he was doing it, he was showing it to them that you see the eyes. It is not. He said because if you shine light in the eyes over 3 hours, over 3 hours. So since he was brought in dead, he pronounced that he was brought in dead, and that they should take him to a government mortuary where they are going to take him in, so that they can provide every fact on a death certificate. Because he said for every patient that they bring to their center, what they do is documentation. But he has never met Mohbad. Mohbad has never been a patient in that hospital. He was seeing him for the first time. He said the people that brought him, by the CCTV, they were able to see at least how they drove him. There was emergency. They were putting their hand on their head, shouting, Imole, Imole. He said he did not know him. He was seeing him for the first time. But because that was a young man, and they said he was a star or upcoming star, he was concerned. He had to be, but everything that he did, I mean, he just proved that he didn't just die. Because had they been in the first hour of his death, maybe whatever thing that his brain might still be functioning if a CPR was applied or whatever. He said, but everything has gone. So what is your recommendation, to this court? He said they should teach CPR, how they can do a resuscitation. Because if actually everything that happened had been, a CPR had been administered, fine. Then he was able to mention that because he said he was asking the nurse, what did you give? His body temperature. He was cold. Was there a written report or death certificate? The death certificate said there was no death certificate because one, he did not die in their custody. If he died in their custody, they will be able to put the time of death, the type of death, what he had, how he died, and all of that. But because the detail was not there, there was just a note. We did not ask the question, who took the note? Because he said in the course of the chaos and all of it, some patients were even passing by, that they had to go and look for a corner that they can cordon off so that they can attend, give everything. But he said the recommendation to take him to the morgue was by him. They didn't take it to. No, maybe she took a permission. We just didn't see her. It is raining here, so I don't know whether you are hearing me. Ojoro. The doctor mentioned that there was a CCTV and they captured everything. Can you still hear me? Okay. So, well, what are we going to say? The doctor gave his own evidence The driver gave his own evidence upon evidence. Is he bringing Mohbad back? No. Is he bringing Mohbad back? No. So by the next okay, I accept. So by the next coroner inquest, there were other questions and all of that, you know. Are you able to identify how intelligent that doctor was? So bóyá náà ló kú tán sọ pé ènìyàn gbèdébẹ̀ a lè sọ, but he has been able to establish that the stage of the entire stage of death has been established, that he was brought in dead. So that he was, it has been 25th April by 11 a.m. 25th April 11 a.m. So maybe did the pathologist give an estimated time and date of time? No. No, they have not started the cross-examination. That will be the next coroner, the next inquest. Àwọn tó fẹ́ béèrè question. I saw Olúwatósìn here now. Before kí n tó lọ jẹun, kí n tó lọ sùn. Another time like this, I am going to stay at Ikorodu. I will not come home. Ikorodu. Tó bá ti di pé wọ́n pẹ́, I will lodge at an hotel. Did the driver spoke with Mohbad? Definitely. He was with him now for 3 hours. Before they went to the show, they were talking. Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ now. Kó tó lọ sí show. It was when they got inside around that 1 a.m. He did not see Mohbad again. He said so. It was only his wife. Until he left there by 11:12, he did not see Mohbad. He said so. Yes, somebody is saying that since the body cannot ascertain the cause of death, can that same body be used for DNA? Yes, because there is tissue. They are going to do a tissue-based DNA. So if there is anything, you ask me to hope on, it is the DNA. It is the DNA. Because it is tissue, no fluid, no urine, nothing water there, but the tissue can be used. So that is why the DNA will be done tissue-based. And thank God they have not done it. It is Dr. Shitu that will now take over. No, at least the driver said he was inside his car. Bó bá sùn lọ, gbégbé bá gbé, àmọ́ bàtà lè jò wá. He did not mention. He said he blocked the gate with his car because if he goes outside the estate, he will not be able to have a code to enter again. That estate is gated where you have to have an identity to come in. So he said his glass has not been fixed and is not going to go out until it is fixed. We will do the DNA. They cannot evade it. I won't say more than that. Káwọn tó ń jó kán máa jó. Let them dance all they can. I already said it. Exhibit A, that is Liam. Exhibit. Ẹgbẹ́ wọn gòkè. Tosin. Okay o. Let it not be the prayer team now, please. Let it be the people that have not come on this platform before. Prayer team, please let us stay in the comment section so that we can have our go. Yeah, did the driver report to police for what? What is he reporting to the police for? So the driver said that Wunmi was talking vile words, Oloshi, Olori Buruku, Ole. Only the driver said that Wunmi told her that him that in 2020 he went to meet her mother to collect money for Mohbad. Now you are blown. You want to be oti show nisi abi nkan. That was what he said. No. She was the one instigating the fight now. Nurse was not there when the nurse was not there. You know, I said that they mentioned that the driver said by 3 a.m. they came to knock his car that they want to go to a pharmacy. What happened between 1 and 3 a.m. that they were looking for? Because Dr. Shitu said for the length of time you were there, they did not take Mohbad to the clinic or hospital. He said no. He said no. That was what he said. Ẹjọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ wa kúkúkú ní ká gé o. I'm not bringing the team. I am not bringing the team. I am only bringing àwa lanilé ẹ jẹ́ káwọn àlejò wa. Ẹjọ́ ẹ má dẹ̀ jẹ́ ọpẹ́ ẹ ní dààmú. Mo fẹ́ lọ jẹun kí n sùn. Ẹjọ́ ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé mi ò kí ṣe analyst? Àdúrà ni mo mọ̀ ọ́ gbà. Mo ti rojọ́ orí ti fọ́ mi sìn. As you are coming up, be talking,
Mommy. Thank you so much, Ma, for all you do. I'm just going to allow Daddy Ishak to go to speak.
Apple of God, I'm not hearing you. Someone young boy, if they are hearing, it's okay.
If I heard her.
Let me use my earphones.
For your contribution, Madam Rich Grace.
Wait, ma. Wait, Mr. Ishak. Please wait. Òjò ń rọ̀ bí gan. Okay. Oh yeah, over to you, Mr. Ishak.
We thank you for your contribution, your efforts, and your support for the cause of justice.
Thank you.
May God continue to bless you. And if you really Gama. Yes. First thing I will say is that I think from what you have told us tonight, there are pieces of evidences that point at what happened and that are relevant to the cause of death, which may also be part of the final report from our own lawyer to be presented to the magistrate, and which the magistrate cannot discard some of the key points that have been raised by the witnesses. I will start with the claim that Wunmi, in the course of the fight, provoke Mohbad with a contribution, a family contribution, whether it's true or false, and which also confirm a kind of reaction that suggested ending of career. If somebody is saying, I've helped you, this and that, and we also hear of the threat, yes, we also hear of the threat that it will end his career. I think that is very substantial, and that may help, when reconciling all statements, will lead to the cause of death. And the fact that there was a physical fight that even brought about the cut of chain and the rest.
Please, when you come up, mute your microphone, please, so that we will not disturb others.
The driver informed us that the driver said he was informed about the fire of Mohbad at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. The noise arrived Mohbad, according to our own statement, arrived Mohbad house at 2:30 p.m. on the same Tuesday.
On Tuesday,
if the driver was already informed as at 9 a.m.
Eric, and please mute yourself now.
Arrived at 2:30 p.m. It is now left for the magistrate to confirm whether or whether the person treated by the nurse was actually Mohbad. And it's now left for DPP, who raised their evidences on the fact that it was reaction to injection from the nurse that arrived 2:30, when we are now hearing of PI as at 9:30 a.m. on the same day, to at least reconsider their stand on what they are taking to court. It's like the account of the driver has turned the case 360.
Man,
And
he said between 9 and 12 already he
Correct.
has had that, yes, Mohbad Akpai on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it is not 360, and there is no how they can escape full forensic on this. If somebody is claiming he got the news by 9:30, and the nurse that the DPP rely on is saying he's going to court, and he got to the house by 2:30.
By 2:30.
Then there is need for verification. There is need to step beyond interrogation, beyond writing statement and interrogating them, to full investigation, because there is no investigation on the side of police that we have seen so far. Secondly, Mohbad corpse arrived the second hospital at 4:30.
Yeah.
And the doctor said it was confirmed for over 3 hours.
Yes. The second
If
hospital.
the nurse arrived 2:30,
yeah,
and the doctor, this is the second confirmation again. If the nurse arrived 2:30, and the doctor that was examining the corpse at 4:30 said this person must have died over 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
That also points to the fact that the nurse cannot be held responsible for whatever they must have cooked. It means that the nurse must have treated the wrong person, not Mohbad. And it means there is need for full investigation.
Yeah.
But whatever the police have taken to court, to me, has been rubbish.
Have been nullified.
Has been nullified. And I think the Nigerian police should do better, because this case, if you get to court, there is no how, even with the petition so far, with the petition of the police, with the fact that our lawyers have sued the police, there is no how whatever they have presented to DPP can stand the test of time. I want to thank all of us not to be disturbed by whatever has happened from the doctor's report. There are different angles of looking at these things. The expert opinion can be based on the full forensic of the phones, the pathology report, the expert, which is the doctors who has also given an account of what has happened. An homicide case can be resolved in whatever way you look at it. There is no narrow, it's a wide terrain, and we need to open our eyes and encourage people like the driver that came up today. Where the Yorubas fail, I'm happy the good Igbos stood up. And I want to also encourage us as Nigerians. You can see that the Igbos in Lagos, if we have more of the drivers, the same driver, we have more of them in Lagos. Lagos will be a safer place for all of us. Thank you.
God bless you, sir. God bless you. Yes. Apple of Gaza is over to you. Let's make it short and precise, just like Mr. Ishak has said. So that.
Thank you so much, Mommy. Thanks for all you do for justice. And Mommy, thank you, Daddy Ishak, for that submission, and thank you to all the panelists. I'm sorry I can't mention every name. And thank you, commenters. Honestly, Daddy Ishak has said most of the things that I wanted to say. So when Mommy Rich Grace was explaining how Mohbad was spy, the events that happened, it really broke my heart when they said the defendant actually said that Mohbad was a good guy. And that led me to when
Sam
I was...
Larry said it.
Sam Larry said...
The driver said.
Oh, sorry. Sam Larry said Mohbad was a very good guy.
Very Omoluwa Bini.
Omoluabi, and that took me back to when I was talking on Vengeance platform, that I was having this mental image of Mohbad as, when during the last few hours of his life, he was still there breathing. He needed help. Even though even if they didn't know how to do let's assume they don't know how to do CPR.
A CPR, yeah.
If it was an accident, mommy, I strongly believed in my spirit that if Mohbad had been helped to the hospital, he would have survived.
That was what the doctor said. If everybody, they should be taught CPR, because if it has been administered, it's possible.
And I just bless God for the driver that came to give testimony today.
Sambo is his name, Fidelis.
Mr. Fidelis. That has opened a lot of, cankerworms now. And yes, it has taken a 360 turn, and it's shedding more light into some of the questions that we've had in our mind. Definitely, from when Mr. Fidelis was in his car waiting for the car to be fixed, and Mo had gone inside after that argument, it is very obvious that another argument ensued when they went into the house. And Mohbad was caught unaware. Either he was hit, something happened. He was overpowered. But that young man did not die immediately. He didn't die immediately. He was fighting for his life. And then the baby mama, the so-called girlfriend, instead of taking him out, rather than doing that, she was looking for cover up. And that boy was screaming. There was still life left in him. But he was so weak, he couldn't speak. But you know what? We serve a God, and our God is alive. And Mommy, which goes, I said no preaching today. The Holy Spirit directed me to a Bible verse. But I'm going to leave it for another time. But what I want to, the Spirit of God is one. He is not a God that will lie. I want to assure people hanging around on the balcony, listening, we are going to get justice.
Definitely.
Ọlọ́run ó gbé ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ga ju orúkọ rẹ̀ lọ. Mo sọ ní pẹ̀lú ìgboyà nínú Jésù. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá lọ́wọ́ ní inú ikú ọmọkùnrin yìí, nítorí pé Ọlọ́run dá a ní láti wá sílé ayé tiẹ̀. Ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ kan kì yóò sì lọ láláì jìyà. Ẹ máa wẹ̀ nínú àgbo for as long as you like. But hear me well. I have not come in my name, but I'm speaking with authority. We are going to get justice. For as many of you that has gone to your babalawo, it would expire. You will face the music. Thank you, Mommy.
God bless you. Thank you.